Hi everyone, my name is Lin Ho Young. My routine is never the same every day, and I probably do this to myself, and that's okay because I don't know, I think I try to keep our days very busy, and I think it's for myself, it's for Riley. But we wake up between 6:30 and 6:45 most days, and she basically wakes up. I hear her because I'm already kind of awake, but I'm still in bed. She climbs out of her bed, opens her door, closes her door, stands in the hallway and goes, "Mama," and starts crying and says, "Mama," and then I say, "Come here," and she climbs into bed with me and we snuggle for a few minutes until I finally want to get up, which is usually only like 5 minutes, so, well, sometimes longer, it depends. Then we go change her diaper, and then we come into the kitchen, and I'll start breakfast sometimes. Sometimes I'll, do some cleaning up or something if I can. Start breakfast, and then just depends on what day it is, but sometimes we have play dates scheduled. Sometimes we go to the zoo, and we usually leave the house by 9:30. Most of the scheduled events start at 10. We make breakfast, she eats breakfast, I clean up, we go brush our teeth, go get ready, leave the house, do our event, come back. She's usually asleep, then she takes a nap. She's usually asleep in the car, so she takes a nap, and I come back and, let's see, what do? I like to just sit and watch TV because that's the only peace I get all day. She sleeps about an hour and a half. If I'm lucky, 2 hours, and I get stuff done. I eat lunch. I make myself lunch and I watch TV, and I clean up, and then if there's laundry, I fold laundry. I do quiet things, so sometimes I go on my laptop. I'm the secretary of our mom's club, so if we just had a meeting, I have to type up the minutes, do the calendar, and all this fun stuff. Okay, so then I wait for Riley to wake up, and then she usually has a snack after she wakes up, and then we either play, watch TV, and then at some point I start dinner. I cook dinner, wait for David to come home, and lately, since I've been pregnant, I haven't really cooked dinner because I'm so tired and nauseous, and so sometimes around 3 to 4 o'clock, she plays in her playroom and I lay down on the floor and try to not get stepped on and trampled and get blocks thrown at my head and get jumped on by Riley. And then if I feel really sick, I go, "David, can you go get some takeout?" I'm not cooking. But I think that part is over, thank God, because it was horrible. I feel a lot better. I feel more energized, so that's good. I still don't want to cook sometimes, but hey, it's cheaper to cook. But sometimes we go out to eat. At least maybe, during the week, maybe once or twice a week. Okay, so then we do dinner and clean up after dinner. Might have a few minutes to play, and then it's bath time, bedtime. And then David usually does, after I give her a bath, he'll dress her, read her a story, put her to bed, which has been such a godsend because I don't have to do all of that, everything anymore. It's amazing, especially since I've been nauseous and sick. And then I sit and watch TV, or try to do laundry, or try to clean up, or right now, I guess, wrap presents. but it's a never-ending cycle. It's pretty much like my day every day, even on Sundays and Saturdays, it does not change. So the only like break I get is if we go out for dinner, someone else cooks, whatever. Parade. I mean, I like having those breaks where it's like, you know, doing something different. Oh, I see so many things, but I think I tend to see some of the bad things often because, you know, and I guess they're not bad, it's just I see a lot of her reactions and attitudes towards things. She's very independent. She is very strong-willed. She also, which is really interesting to see, is she likes to try to do things in different ways. Like, you know, if you give her a cup with a straw, she pulls the straw out and tries to drink from the hole. Even though you tell her, use the straw, she tries to find a different way of drinking it. And yes, frustrating to a parent because you don't want the water to spill everywhere and, you know, the clothes to get messy, but then you stop and you realize, you know what, she's just trying to explore a different way of doing it. And I'm very much like that. I never like to go for the normal answer. I don't accept the normal answer. I always find ways of saying, well, that can't be right. There's got to be another way to do it because that's just boring. How can we do it differently? How can we do it more efficiently? How can I make it so that it's easier for me to do? And I see that in her so many, like 100 times, and it makes me frustrated because she's so much like me. Yet, you know, you don't, when they first do it, you react and you don't step back and you go, well, you know, she's just trying to be a kid and be, you know, explore and figure it out on her own. And as a parent, it's hard to stop and be reactionary. It's hard to see the bigger picture of it all when you're experiencing it and you don't want them to spill water on themselves. So, yeah, she's pretty much my mirror image. I think I try to do everything exactly opposite of what my mom did to some extent because I feel like my mother was very young when she had me. She was 22. I have 10 more years experience in maturity than she does, I feel. And I think it makes a difference when you're ready for a child versus when you just have a child. When you can mentally prepare yourself, it's not about mentally preparing yourself. I think it's more like life experiences. The more life experiences you have, the better of a person you become and more understanding you become. The more observances you have, shapes the way you want to parent. But I don't think that my mom did a horrible job. I think she had to deal with what she was given at the time. She stayed home with me until I believe I was about 3. But as I got older and both my parents worked, seemed like from 8 o'clock to 8 o'clock at night, I knew that I wanted to be physically, emotionally, and mentally there for my child. So I didn't want to repeat having my child go through that, and I wanted to be there and have a relationship with my child. And I feel like as we got older, we no longer had a relationship with our parents because we basically never saw them except for the weekends. And I know they tried to spend as much time with us, but it just, I mean, it's not physically possible when you work so long hours. And I think you just have a better relationship with your children the more time you spend with them. And I just wanted to be able to provide that for my children. Oh, I have so many, and I think people tell me to shut up every single time, but they don't because they're really nice to me. I give advice. I dispense advice like gum. If I was a gum dispenser, I had like 25 sticks of gum, and I'd probably give a whole pack a day. No, I actually like to, I don't know, maybe people don't like my advice, but I like to give my advice because I feel like it's important to talk about things. Let's see. Don't have children unless you really want to have children. It's important to want to have children. It's important to know that a child changes your whole life like you never thought it could ever do before. You no longer sleep normal. You no longer sleep normally. You can't do whatever you want. What you do has consequences. You're responsible for another person, not just yourself. So that responsibility comes with a lot of power, I guess. You shape another human being in every action, every word you do, and you forget sometimes until they repeat it back to you, and you're like, no, don't say that. But God, I think the most advice I could say is be ready to like have someone that loves you like no matter what you do to them. Which is like scary, right? Because you could do a lot of bad things or really good things, and this little person could love you and it wouldn't matter, and that's a lot of power for someone to have. And it's kind of sad because you don't want to ever steer them wrong or do the wrong thing, but you're gonna make mistakes, and that's life, and hopefully you learn from it and don't screw up your kid.